Hello, dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. It's Francesco Comito here. Today, I'm going to introduce you a fantastic duo. Uh, their names are Alexei Tartakovsky. We already know him. We still remember his stunning performance of 24 Preludes, Opus 28 by Chopin. And also, I'm happy to introduce you Alina Smirnova. She's a fantastic musician, and now we will invite them to ask some question. Hello, Alexei. Hello, Alina. How are you?
Hello. Fine, and you?
Fine, thank you. I'm very happy you are here, and I'm so curious to listen to your performance for ends. And what are you going to play for us?
We'll play Schubert Fantasy in F minor for four hands, and the Rachmaninoff's first two piano suite.
Fantastic. This is a really complex program. This Fantasy by Schubert, so deep music, so magic music, and Rachmaninoff, is so also challenging piece. It's not easy piece to play at all. And why did you choose to play this program?
Yeah, it's kind of mix of everything because I'm very fond of Rachmaninoff and Alexei is very fond of Schubert.
I'm very fond of Rachmaninoff too, though.
No, yeah. Okay, and we have already experience of playing four hands. It were two dances by Dvorak.
Mm-hmm.
Now we decided to try something more serious, I think, for hands, and then it was my idea to play Rachmaninoff because I have already played this piece, and I think it's very beautiful. Why not to add it to Schubert as something very different and still very poetic.
But what is your relationship with these particular pieces you're going to play? Do you remember some particular image or color? Playing these two pieces.
Well, I've played the Schubert before, and I've played both the primo and the secondo part, so I've known this piece for a long time. For Alina, that one's new, but I've never played the Rachmaninoff, so for me, the Rachmaninoff is new. And I played the symphonic dances by Rachmaninoff previously, but I've always, for a long time, I wanted to learn the first piano suite, so this was a good occasion. And of course, they're completely different. The Schubert is, I've loved that piece for many, many years since I was a child. My favorite performance of that is the live recording of Sviatoslav Richter and Benjamin Britten playing four hands at I think the Aldeburgh Festival. I think it ranks not just as one of the greatest four hands pieces, but one of Schubert's greatest compositions in general. And so that's, to play with an excellent pianist and musician like Alina is very nice. And same thing with the Rachmaninoff, completely different, of course.
But you learned this piece during this COVID time. So
yeah, I'm well, as you know, I'm in the I live in the United States, but I've been here in Moscow in Russia since July 31st. So because I was here for such a long time, we thought, why not put together a real program? And so we learned these. Each of us learned what he hasn't played previously, and so today was actually our first rehearsal at the venue where we'll be playing this at the Yamaha Artist Services here in Moscow.
And tell me, was difficult to learn this piece?
It's how to say. It's just a question of conversation between us because Schubert and Rachmaninoff must be playing very different touch. And Schubert, I have played a lot of songs Schubert songs and circles. So I know Schubert from his leader side as a collaborative pianist with a singer. Here it's a little bit the same because I play the second part. It's accompanying most of the time. And what about Rachmaninoff? I have played the first suite many times with different pianists, so it was very interesting also to get some new view on this music. And I hope that it will be the first step to the whole Rachmaninoff duo music, including the second suite, symphonic dances. I have already played them also. And what else?
Well, we actually played the Italian polka recently.
Yeah,
but that's nothing serious. Yeah.
It's very serious.
Okay, Alina,
Just
I wanna a little bit introduce you to our friends because our friends of Le Salon, they already know Alexei, and I want to know something about you. Musically, how your passion for classical music started?
I know it's very common thing in Russia that every good girl must go to a musical school to get this musical development. So my mother didn't want me to become a professional musician from my first steps. But then it was my first very serious competition in Moscow in 3 rounds. So I was at the age of 12. Then I occasionally I got the first prize and the chance to play with orchestra. And
Yes.
I thought, okay, I like it. Maybe I must do it seriously, especially because it took too many time. You know, when you are practicing so much, you don't have any chance to be the same in history or in something else. And I thought that I really like it, and I like this feeling on the stage, conversation with public, and so. And then I went to the musical college, then to the conservatory. I finished it in 2015. Then it was upper
Graduate school.
Yeah, graduate. Upper graduate, I finished it as a collaborative pianist. So now I work at the conservatory as a collaborative with singers.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and what about chamber music? Alexei here, I think he feels himself more as a solo pianist. As for me, it always was the same amount of time and the same amount of my interest in like collaborative with singers, like a lot of chamber music with quintets, quartets, piano duo, everything, even winds, everything, and as a solo. So when I have him near I think we must use this chance to continue this part of my life.
And tell me, can you tell me something precisely? What is the difference? I mean, that playing as a solo and playing in chamber music, especially playing with another pianist in sharing the same instrument, because it's not the same thing that playing with two pianos. It is something different because you have the same space. You have also to share with another person is not the same thing that you to have a piano only for you. Can you tell me a little bit about your feelings? What is the difference for you than playing solo and in foreigns?
I think the most important thing about playing for hands is not to eat too much food, because you need, your space is limited. Of course, you need to listen to each other more and more accurate.
It's in some ways playing four hands is more difficult because you need to think. Both people need to think for both people. So if you think of just your part, then it won't be good. It's even more so than in regular chamber music, in trios or quartets. You really need to take into account, and the other person has to become an extension of your own body and touch.
Touch.
Yeah.
And this is the first time for you that you play together.
Anything serious and big, yeah, it is. So this will be the first.
And can you tell me, playing forense takes significant empathy. Yours was formed immediately, or did you have to work on it?
I think it was kind of immediate, because when you start playing together for hands, it's just from the first second, it's love, do you enjoy it or not? But in some in moments, of course, it's complicated. We are discussing some problems, we're fighting a little bit, but in general, yes, it was. I hope it was comfortable from the first second, quite comfortable enough, to work on it.
Yes.
Because not always happen that you find a good empathy with another musician. Maybe you have your ideas on a particular piece and you want to say my ideas are better. So let's play how I say. Let's talk about the compromise that is also useful to learn, playing in chamber music. Is it important to find a compromise?
Well, it depends, because sometimes a compromise can end up sounding like a compromise, and that's not something that you want. So it becomes neither, as we say in Russian, neither fish nor meat. Ни рыба, ни мясо. But it really depends on the specific thing you're talking about. I think that, well, in general, I think that the excuse we have to play it this way because I like it is not a good justification to do anything in music. That there always needs to be something more. You either need to know specifically what you are expressing by doing so, or what you think the composer is trying to express by writing it the way he did. Just saying, "Oh, I like it that way, and that's why we should play it that way," is, for me, not good enough. So it sometimes becomes a battle of, when we disagree, it becomes a battle of who can. It's like in a courtroom, who can justify more each other's choices.
But of course, you have to try to find a good interpretation of the composer's will. But as you know, it's not always so easy. Everybody can have his good reason to play in a certain way. So playing forense is not so easy because of that. I can say I have my strong reason to play in this way, and the other says I have my strong reason to play this way because here it's written like this. You know that sforzando has not the same meaning everywhere for anybody. Has not the same meaning. Forte is not the same. Has not the same meaning. For you, this forte has a meaning. For me, has another meaning. We know that it's forte, but that it's not only the volume, it's the character, and the music suggests, because music is not something objective, it's something subjective. So how do you study also a piece together in order to achieve this result, to achieve the harmony, to achieve the perfection that does not exist, the perfection, but the harmony in the chamber group?
I think it's kind of an eternal search in every moment, especially with Schubert. With Schubert, I think you will never be, you can never be satisfied, yeah. Satisfied enough, because it's always moving more away from you, and you're just trying to reach this level of this music. But I think it's just in every moment trying to find the best way
Yeah, Schubert in general tends to be quite elusive because it's a lot of a lot depends on finesse of very great finesse of touch, especially in piano and softer. So it's a completely different style from Rachmaninoff, obviously. Well, what was I going to say before? Oh, you asked how we search for this interpretation. Well, I think it's important that we both come from overall a similar musical tradition. So even before we started playing together, we tend to have, if not the same, of course, but at least similar thoughts about music in general. And before playing something like this Schubert Fantasy or the Rachmaninoff Suite, you really have to have played, I think, a lot of other music by those composers. And as is the case with anything, the more music you play by a certain composer, the more familiar you become with his language and how he writes, and therefore things that at a younger age might not have been as clear to you eventually kind of become self-evident. So, we both know, of course, a lot of Schubert. We've played a lot of Schubert, a lot of Rachmaninoff on our own, and that is essential, I think.
And so this is going to be your first concert together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I cannot ask you, how do you feel playing a concert together on stage? So it would be like, something new for you. And so I want to ask you, what about performing online? Alexei already did it fantastically last time, playing Preludes by Chopin 24 Preludes, Opus 28, and it was fantastic. He showed very, very, he was so confident playing in front of a camera. It's not easier. It's not the same thing that playing on stage, because on stage you take the energy from the public. It's completely different thing. When you are in front of a camera and you are maybe alone, you're not in a studio radio or something like this. You are alone and you have to play, for online concert is something different. And what about you, Alina? Is it the first time for you to play an online concert?
Yeah, it's the first time. I'm not very fond of making recordings at all. I don't think anyone likes it. So yeah, it will be very interesting and will be some kind of challenge. But still, I think it's more fun to make it together, especially with Alexei, who is super professional with recordings and everything. Yeah, I'm just looking forward.
And
Well,
Alexei, please.
Well, my little secret for the last time I did the Chopin Preludes for you was that I actually had a few people sitting in the hall, and even a few people listening to you changes the dynamic completely. So that I think that's very helpful to even have a small token audience. So hopefully, when we play this program for you, we will also have a few people, not maybe 5 people or so, sitting and listening to us.
So that's your secret.
Yes.
Yeah, just to have anybody.
Because at least that way you're not playing just for a dead microphone.
Yeah. Okay. Alina and Alexei, also want to ask you, what do you think about the future of classical music? What do you think about the period that we are currently living of this COVID-19? That all concerts are festivals, they are working online, and even though theaters are open again, they cannot fulfill completely the concert halls because of the social distancing. So what do you see in the future of classical music? Also, I mean, financially for musicians?
There are two different sides of it. Now, I'm quite optimistic. I think that everything will return back. Especially in Moscow, you can see that concert halls are open again. In in the United States they are closed. Here in Moscow they are open and they're full. So some hosts have to make 2 sessions, for example, and so musicians times. So they play, for example, at 6 p.m. for the half of audience, and then it's break, and another half of audience at 8 p.m.
But they don't get paid twice as much.
Yeah. So question with the money question is on the other side. I hope it will be not worse than it was before.
But we must have a B plan, because we don't know what can be with this virus. We don't have even a vaccine for this virus. We don't know anything. Everything can change every second. There can be another lockdown tomorrow. Also in French, I read in the news there, I think about another lockdown. Also in England, also in Israel, in Spain, it's not a very good situation. And also, please, dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique, write in the comments if you have any news about your countries where you're living. And so we also must think about reinventing ourselves, because we need to. We are professional musicians. We need to make money with the music, and we cannot wait that somebody will come and solve the situation. It's not. We cannot trust. The destiny. We must create our fortune. I would say. So, what do you think about performing online? You think this pandemic, period created new opportunities for musicians or not with these online platforms?
I think that yes, of course, it's a new opportunity. But speaking of chamber music, it just shows that we need more places with good equipment, with the microphones or with something to have an opportunity to record something together. Not, for example, by my own, but with somebody else with the same audience. Yeah, because what's the problem with online? When somebody is playing his part, and somebody is playing another part, and then you have to combine it somewhere somehow. It's just bullshit. Yeah, we need more specific technical equipment places for this. More более доступные.
So that they become more accessible.
Yeah, accessible. Yeah.
You know what? I'm a musician. I'm a pianist,
Yes.
and I learn how to make videos, how to work with audio, how to make also this live streaming that this interview. I didn't know anything about it. I learned everything by myself, and I must tell you that nowadays is possible with very, very cheap equipment make incredible products, make incredible video of high quality. So I think that nowadays it's crucial also to teach to kids, to teach to musicians in the schools to how to make videos, how to work for themselves, because nowadays it's so important to be online. And nowadays we can say that our social media, our social network are like our CV, like our curriculum. Because if you have a very strong public that is following you, that very, a huge number of people that following you, that listen to your music, people that are organizing festivals or musical events, they will see that you have a good, public that is following you. So there's more probability that you will be called to play.
Yeah, well, the when this whole thing started with the virus and the first several online concerts I did, and back then, at the very beginning when people were doing these online concerts, most of them were literally from somebody's living room, sometimes recorded on a phone or a computer. So it was quite low quality because nobody thought, nobody expected that it will last this long. And now as people are, they are coming to grips with the idea that this is simply our new life for the foreseeable future. Now we start to see these online concerts that are better and better produced and filmed in actual concert halls. And so on one hand that's good. On the other hand, all of that stuff costs a lot of money to make a good video, to make a good recording. Even if you're doing it yourself, especially if you're doing it yourself, if you want good equipment, good microphones, everything, that's easily thousands of dollars. And or to hire somebody and to rent a hall, that's again, it's thousands of dollars each time. So of course, the downside of the pandemic is that as usual, the people who have the resources will stay afloat, and then the people who don't will kind of be left by the wayside without live concerts. And that's very unfortunate.
But you know what, Alexei, I can tell you, I'm saying because of my experience, nowadays, yes, it's expensive if you rent a very big hall, with the Steinway grand piano and cameras 4K, 8K. It's really expensive. But nowadays, to start, it's really easy to start to work. We started in the Salon de la Musique making videos with this particular telephone that is not the last model.
Well, but see, that's what I mean. The whole point of a good recording of music is to transmit the sound of the instrument as accurately as possible. That is expensive. I mean, of course, you can record it on your phone and people get a general idea of what it sounds like. But if we're literally what we're doing now is replacing the real concert hall and the real audience and real acoustics with electronics. And for that to be even a pale imitation of real concerts, that is expensive, professional level equipment.
Of course,
not everybody can afford to do.
I say, of course, it's not possible to have the same result of playing live. Yeah. This is completely different story. Also, Celi Bidache was saying that even CDs, everything is fake. Everything is fake. The recording has not you cannot recreate the space with the mic.
Yeah, well, sometimes the sound engineer needs to get the award instead of the performer in some of these CD recordings, because they're so spliced together that this person could never play the same way in real life.
We have here Mikhail Bereznev. We say hello to him. Hello, привет, Mikhail. We're waiting for you for the next concert at Salon de la Musique. So, and Mikhail is an incredible musician. He played a fantastic Bartok for Le Salon. I still remember that concert. Fantastic. If you, dear friends of Le Salon, if you want to listen to our dear Mikhail, you can go on our YouTube channel and write Mikhail Bereznev and Le Salon de la Musique Recital and enjoy again his concert. Also, it's possible to make a donation directly to Mikhail for his concert. So I'm talking about donations. This is really important. Yes, he's writing here. Hola ragazzi. Okay. So I was saying about donations. This is really important. This is the point why I speak about donations, because we started with actually this phone to make. I don't make publicity. Sorry, you've seen that it's the Apple. Okay. Okay, maybe Apple will pay us for making publicity. I don't know. Apple, if you are send us a message here. Okay, we started with this, but after people was actually enjoying what we were doing, they said, okay, I kind of like it. I like that. So they started to send us money, donations. So we could buy this equipment, more expensive equipment. And so we started to record, to make videos, and we created our music label. We recorded all the music by Rachmaninoff, the all music by Brahms professionally, and we started with this iPhone. That's what I mean. If you don't start, you will never achieve this result. And what I wanted to point it out is that if we teach to kids, to young musicians, how to start and go through their life, musical life, with the good knowledge for the future, because we must say that knowing how to make a video is very important knowledge nowadays. So this is what I wanted to say about donations. Dear friends of Recital Music, this is really important for the concert of 27th of September, when Alina Alexei they're going to play. It's possible to make a donation. In the link below here of our live chat, there is the PayPal link where you can make a donation and support our friend Alina and Alexei. This is really important because musicians, they work very hard. Oh, we have here Anna Fyodorova. We say hello to Anna. She played a fantastic concert, and we are waiting for her for the next concert. Okay. What I was saying, it's really important to make a donation because musicians, they work so hard in order to give the love, to share the music. We love the passion with the public. Music, life without music would be a mistake. That's true. I never tried to repeat this. What Nietzsche was saying. And life without musicians would be a mistake, because without musicians there is no music. So it's a relationship of love between the public and the musicians. We need to support musicians, and fortunately we have so many friends here in Le Salon de la Musique. They are still donating so generously. We never stop to thank them. And so we can continue to support young musicians. We can continue to work with classical music, because nowadays it's really difficult. It's really difficult, and especially now we need the support of our friends. Okay, dear friends, dear Alexei and Alina, I want to ask you more questions to you. This is usually a question that I ask to all of our musicians, Le Salon de la Musique. The best advice you received in your life, for example, from a parent, from a teacher, from from a student also. The best advice, because I already made this question to Alexei last time, so now it will be great listen the opinion of Alina.
I actually can't remember some particular advice I got, because luckily I got a lot of advices. But for me, it was always the rule that I don't remember where it came from, but I heard it from the famous Russian dancer, not from her life, but I just read it. It was Maya Plisetskaya, the great Russian ballet dancer, and she said that it's better to make something your own. Maybe it can be worse than somebody else, but it will be just yours, your own. And I think it's more the most important, because even especially in Russia, it's a very long way of learning how to play music. So you start with 8 years of musical school, and you have 4 years of musical college, then you have 5 years of the conservatory, and then up to degree 2 years. And when you're already very old, you understand that you have already heard all advices. Maybe you're lucky enough to find a new person, a new great musician that will open your who will open your new
Horizons.
horizons. But still, from some moment, you have to teach yourself. Yeah, always looking for the better and better way, and just to do your own and see what will happen.
And now I want to ask you the best advice you will give to young musicians that want to be a musician. But don't say don't be a musician, because
Yeah, it was already said. Yeah, I know.
But don't say this. We must encourage young musicians, young kids to be musicians, and also if they will not be a musician, they should love classical music, because without new public in 20 years we will not play. We will play for anybody, for nobody. Understand? So this is, we must give some good advice to young generation.
Don't be afraid of making something not good enough, or don't be afraid of your own professor or anything. You know, just try, and never listen to your some negative comments. Because in our musical life, there are a lot of very sensitive young person. You know, when you're at the age of 17 and you're listening to some negative comments, and it can make you feel very, very bad. Never listen for what you are doing at the piano. That's enough.
This is really important, because follow always your dreams.
Yeah, it's better to listen what you're doing sometimes. Just to check.
This is really important, because also it's important to listen some good advice, because not always we can hear what we are playing, especially if we are kids. We have not so developed ears. We must try to follow good advisors, because sometimes a good no is better than one not good yes. But when you understand that the no is actually not good, because you feel that you can do something and somebody says not to do it, or you cannot do it, but you feel and you trust yourself, continue, never give up. This is fantastic advice, I think. So guys, I'm so happy you are here with Le Salon de la Musique. You are going to play for us, and I'm so curious to listen to your program, because I really love this fantasy by Schubert. I cannot wait to listen to it. So thank you so much, guys. I hope that we are going to make another concert with you soon, for 4 hands, or maybe it will be possible with 2 pianos, if I don't know, there will be the occasion. Also nowadays it's really difficult to find the good place where to record, especially with a program for 2 pianos, but will be also a great thing. And considering the fact that this is your first concert together, and you don't have a program for the future. I mean, do you already know the next program you're going to play for the next concert, or do
we don't? Of course, we don't know yet exactly what we'll play, but we were discussing about learning all of Rachmaninoff's 2 piano works.
The Rite of Spring.
Yeah, that's.
Do you want to have some? I don't know. Do you want to ask to our friends on Le Salon if they want to choose?
Yeah, maybe some of the viewers right now can submit some requests, and we'll see if we can accommodate.
Dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique that are listening now, please write on the comments the piece that you want to listen to for the next concert of Alina and Alexei. But they told me they want to play Ligeti, or not?
It was a joke. We're thinking of The Rite of Spring, Cinderella by Prokofiev. What else? Schumann variations.
Maybe.
Yeah. So there are a lot of wonderful music.
What about symphonies? Transcript.
I was about to mention, but I don't know. It depends on the transcription, because I think that many of these transcriptions for 2 pianos are done in order to. Basically, they're made for conducting classes, so that conducting students have somebody to conduct. So it's not like Liszt's transcriptions, of Beethoven for solo piano, of which I'm actually learning one right now. But if we find something on that level for 2 pianos, then yeah, why not?
But you know what? I played with my sister in a concert. We were playing 109 Sonata, opus 109 by Beethoven, opus 110 by Beethoven, and we played the 6th Symphony by Beethoven, transcript for 4 hands by Karl Czerny. I must
No.
tell you that this was really great transcription. So, and
Well, we'll
especially
look
nowadays, this could be a very good idea, because it's not so easy, to present a symphonic piece to people, because it's because of this current situation, it's not so easy to find a symphony orchestra, to find,
So, ironically, we've come full circle all the way back to the 19th century when there were no audio recordings and people did transcriptions in order to hear symphonic music that they would not otherwise have the chance to hear. So
Exactly.
we've regressed thanks to the coronavirus, or maybe advanced. It depends on how you look at it.
The history
if you think
always,
that the 19th century was a better time than now, which maybe, in some ways maybe it's true.
but history always comes
Make a
back.
circle, yeah.
Yeah, it makes a circle. So I think that also this idea of salon de la musique, I mean, playing salon, playing in this more intimate atmosphere, is something that actually we need. Always huge concert hall, but Schubert was playing in the Salon de la Musique. Schubert, Chopin also was doing it. Franz Liszt, was created this figure of the concert pianist, but until that moment was not so.
Well, we have the salon, so now all we need is an Archduke Rudolph to sponsor everything, like he did with Beethoven. So
this is really important.
If we really want to go back to the 19th century, then let's go back all the way in every respect.
But in fact, this is what we want to do. But in order to do so, we need the support from our friends of Le Salon de la Musique. So please make a donation. Don't forget to make a donation. There is the link below of the concert of Alina and Alexei. And also you can become our patron, subscribing monthly to Le Salon de la Musique. You can receive some exclusive benefit, some exclusive video, our Telegram service where you can subscribe and you will receive a Telegram, very short Telegram. If you don't know what is classical music, if you want to learn what is classical music, you are curious about classical music, but you don't know where to start because the program is so huge that it's like you are walking in the desert. Don't worry, we will think for you. So subscribe to our Telegram service and we will send you a piece that we choose with the link so you can listen to this piece and a small description with it's like a juice, really strong juice of this of the piece. Nothing academic, but we concentrate on the emotion that the composer wanted to describe with this particular piece. So, dear friends, thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear Alina, dear Alexei. I cannot wait for your concert. Now I must run to learn Trio by Rachmaninoff because I have tomorrow the rehearsal and I still didn't finish to learn the trio. So,
good luck.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank dear friends of Le Salon de la Musique. I want to remind to our friends that this Sunday is going to play Vladislav Kern, so don't miss this concert. And also it's possible to make a donation. And if you have any question in order to participate to this concert, to the concert of Alina Alexei, write a message to Le Salon de la Musique as soon as possible. We will try to answer you because you are fantastic. You always write us a messages very often. We try to answer you as soon as possible, but you understand that it's a little bit difficult to respond to answer to everybody. We have here Dima Vlasyuk. We say hello to him. Fantastic.
Hello again.
Fantastic musician. He had to play Rachmaninoff, but unfortunately, I read that there was the Hurricane Sally in Florida. So, dear friends from Florida, right here if everything is okay. Dima, see you soon. Okay, dear friends, bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye, thank you.
Bye.